Hey there, on this week's episode, Konami have finally announced the new Subterror monsters effects and the trap card. And also, we've talked about anti-spell fragrance and dimension barrier. Should they even be in Yu-Gi-Oh? We are Team Cowboy for game. And I am Bragg, and I am joined here today by Blake,
Stop.
Andrew, and Special K Loklin.
Now with 3 neutral ingredients.
All
neutral.
Neutral
Fiber-
ingredient.
fiber-filled and fantastic. How was our week in Yu-Gi-Oh, people?
You know.
It has
I
been
say
a
that
good
every
week.
time.
It was a
I
good
still
week.
don't have my demises, so.
It was a good week.
So,
Can we start off this podcast by saying fuck Australian Post? Like, seriously.
Mate, they brought my
fuck 'em
order
hard.
in a swift and orderly fashion, though I did pay for express.
Were
I
you
did
one
pay
of
for
those
Express
kids?
too.
Were you one of those
Yeah, but
kids
they
that
don't
knocked
like you.
on
They're like,
doors?
they saw it, they're like, ooh, Blake, ooh, fuck that. Ooh.
Were you one of those kids that knocked on doors and ran away? We're hiring. Australia Post.
And it is Yu-Gi-Oh related because that is the main source of our cards.
that's
a
what
good point.
it's good to get everything delivered to work, dude. It's the way it goes. They never shortchange businesses.
Bragg's been around the bend for a while.
Yeah,
He's going to have to
it's-
fight him when you order in the same shit.
But then you have to explain to your receptionist why you get cardboard delivered to you. So it's like, they go, what's in it? I'm like,
That's why
You
you have
understand.
stuff.
You'd prefer to say, like, fucking fleshlight, right? Like, you...
yeah.
It's
So,
not for me, it's for
I'm-
my dad. Come on.
I'm still cooler for using the Pussy Master 3000 than using
Yeah. Well,
$100 for
I mean,
Oh, fuck.
this game is just turning into a massive masturbation session. So, I mean, what's the difference?
It's all
What's-
part of the game.
What's the difference? ABC, the new flashlight.
Oh,
Probably
okay.
cheaper than a
That's,
flashlight.
listen. That's yeah. No, everything's a cheap deck.
What?
Come on.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
like
I'm
your
Like
flashlight?
convinced-
anything, there is the Pomo version.
For Blake, ABCs are his fleshlight because he sucks ABC's dick so hard.
Listen, Buster Dragon is my daddy.
Speaking of which, I think the greatest thing I've seen on Facebook in a while is the guy who posted that he bought 3 structure decks and resulted in 4 Crash Wyverns and 2 Buster Drinks.
What?
Rip.
yeah. He got 2.
It's a
Yeah,
hilarious day in Yu-Gi-Oh! For today.
it was a
Where a structure deck does.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
a big printing problem. So it's you mean. Then again, but then it's unsealed by the time you get it. Maybe you should seal it up and go extra rare a deck. Will this have 4 A's in it, or whatever it is? Is it 2? No, 2.
Yeah.
You
So
think that
speaking of our week in Yu-Gi-Oh! So I unfortunately wasn't a part of it because I do have the working things, but most of you guys participated in locals, and by most I mean just Blake. Blake, do you want to give us
Yeah,
a
pretty
rundown?
much.
I played a ridiculously stupid ABC Brilliant Vanities Fiend deck. Beat everyone except the only other person playing ABCs.
Did you main Vanity?
Fucking Logan, man. I mained 2 Vanities Fiend. It was hilarious.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It made first turn kind of stupid. But like the only reason I beat Logan at any point was because of the Vanities Fiend, which cool. But yeah,
Well, it worked, yeah.
He romped me elsewhere. He's
Yeah, nice.
he's main deck. You know what? I was almost worried about giving away what Logan runs in his main deck, but he does that for everyone else, so fuck him. He made like Fiendish Chain and stuff, and it actually hurt me pretty hard.
Yeah,
Finish
he's-
Shane, eh? Shit.
Yeah, his lack of pot of desires means he just put a whole bunch
Bit
of
of
traps in.
a blast from the past there. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
That's a $50 card at one point. That super. It was a good time to be
Jesus.
alive. It's so I mean then again you went to locals elsewhere, so not really local but long distance locals, Andrew. And what happened?
This is true. I went down to Nowra they have a really good Thursday locals, which is Konami sanctioned tournaments. So it's my actual only access to OTS packs.
So if you want to go
and-
suck Andrew's dick, Nara locals Thursday nights, go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I went 5-0 straight there, which was really cool. We've got to verse a lot of varieties of decks. What in order? I think I went Fluffles, then Blue Eyes, then Pure Kaiju, then Dark Magician, and then finally ABC, which I beat in the finals. And that was
what were
with
you
the new
playing?
variant. Yes, it's the
Fuck.
reveal. So
Fluffles.
my Major Spectres are back for the first time. I believe they are Tier 1 for the first time since they ever came out. And that is due to Ties of the Brethren, because that card is so fucking stupidly strong. It's just fantastic.
I like.
And it showed up a lot on the day.
2,000 life points plus
All right.
4.
So while
Wow.
Blake's being a robot, I'm gonna say what is important.
Mr. fucking Roboto over there.
I know, we grabbed you. We're gonna say what we're talking about in this podcast right now. As soon as I get the podcast.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna
So
go
you
over
know
everything. We're gonna let you guys know
where to go.
where you want to go.
All right. So we always start off with this. Then we're gonna look at the in-off sneak peek. The new. How do you pronounce this? Eidolon?
Eidolons? Yeah, so, I mean, if we're moving on to the news, follow us, like us on Twitter, Facebook, email us at teamcpg.com, comment on everything. Love us, please. Please. Very, please.
Just on my
We'll
input,
love you
I
back.
think from how it's written, I think that would pronounce Eidolon.
Eidolon.
So,
Fair.
yeah, Eidolon, Fusion Enforcers. They look pretty damn good. They go alright. Someone rendered the effects or myself?
You could.
Yeah.
Cool. So they come out in Fusion Enforcers, released in February. It's a couple of weeks after Raging Tempest, which is weird product releasing. So good luck selling that, I guess. So the first one is Alesta, the Eidolon Summoner, level 4, Dark Spellcaster Effect Monster, attack 1000, defense 1800. During other player's turn, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, target one fusion monster you control, it gains 1000 attack or defense until the end of the turn. If this card is normal summoned or flip summoned, or flip face up, sorry. Ooh, that's kind of cute. You can add one Eidolon summoning magic from your deck to your hand. Then Eidolon summoning magic is fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand as fusion materials. So a generic polymerization. If summoning a Eidolon base fusion monster this way, you can also banish cards from your field or either place graveyard as fusion material. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one of your banished summoners, shuffle this card into the deck, and if you do, add the monster to your hand. So kind of Metal First Fusion, but reoccurring the card instead of drawing a random card. So it's kind of cool.
Interesting.
Before we
Interesting part on every single one of these fusions. Just a quick note: every single one of the fusion monsters actually requires that first monster we mentioned to be in the fusion.
Yeah. So yeah. So it's much like Metal Foes, but but based on this one monster, which is kind of cool. Maybe if it was a more generic card. So then they get a cool field spell, which is when this card's activated, you can add one Eidolon summoner from your deck to your hand. So there's how you search it. A searchable Rhoda. Awesome.
Did someone say Young Union Hanger?
Yeah, and then if you activate a card or effect that includes an effect that fusion summons a monster, that activation cannot be negated. Also, your opponent cannot activate card effects when that monster is fusion summoned. So that's across the board, across everything. Reckless Magic Circle, the card's called. It's so it locks out people when you're playing a fusion deck. So if you're playing any fusion deck, might be worth running. And then last but not least, they all have fusion type. They all fuse with different types: water, fire, wind, and all that. The best one I found was the light one. So level 6, 2500 attack, 2100 defense. Jesus. Alistair, the Elder Summon plus a light monster. Yeah.
I was going to say I believe it's a level 9 actually.
Oh. Why do I have it as level 6?
According to
this makes me cry.
According to Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, the light one is level 9, the water one is level 6, the wind one is level 5, and the dark one is level 4.
Yeah, and the dark one's kind of the dark one's kind of crap.
Daniel.
But so I put the
It is level 9.
yes. And then once per turn, during other player's turn, when a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated, you can send the same type from your hand to the graveyard and negate the activation. And if you do,
Just like Counter Fairies.
So, all up, this
just like Counter
seems to
Fairies.
generically boost random decks with a fusion archetype that doesn't clog as much. Do you
What
guys
deck
think?
uses this though?
Well, any.
I think this would be super crazy if Super Poly comes back.
Yeah.
Please. That's hopeful thinking.
No.
I'm no way saying it should, but I think that would be some crazy shenanigans.
But even then, so you've got the main monsters. And
What if you
honest-
could do some sort of what about some sort of Yang Zing variant maybe? That's a deck that explores a
throw
whole
up
heap of
on that
different
a little
types.
Attributes.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the word.
that or you just go hardcore on light monsters that float, and then you've got a crazy light monster that negates. I mean, obviously you've got to have the cards in hand to discard, but so if you fit it into a fusion summoning archetype like Metal Foes, we haven't seen the fire one yet, so that's why I didn't put it in. So I reckon this could give Metal Foes the second win that it needs. Maybe later. At the moment, it probably doesn't really need it. It's going to be crazy seeing how they go. Mind you, Metal Foes didn't perform too
well,
well
they
over the
got,
weekend.
But once
yeah,
Alchemist
there
is out and all
were-
that stuff, oof, watch out.
Yeah, it's
There were a
gonna-
lot of regionals and a lot of events over the weekend, like really big, couple hundred people regionals. So it was interesting to see where everything placed now that ABCs are out.
Yeah, it's so at the moment, but as you said, Alcahest and the level 1 card is kind of off the chain. So this
The whole game's about to be broken in what, a week and a half? Like once Evasion's out.
You
yeah.
think that's gonna work? Just wait till January.
Ah, yeah.
And,
I'm gonna love if they come out and just do nothing. I'll laugh
Yeah, but here's
so
the thing:
hard.
they can't.
It's true.
Like, it's not possible.
Listen, he wants that. Loklin wants that Ragnarok dick.
I already got Ragnarok. Oh, that Lamia snake tail? I don't know.
That no, the word you were looking for was pussy. You just didn't want to say it.
It doesn't look like.
I can't really think of many other fusion archetypes that might have used this deck for now, though.
It's not. I mean, well, it's archetypes that because since they have a fusion monster that's a boss of every archetype. You know, if a archetype is based around a certain attribute, like so, a light archetype can really benefit from this just on the side, because then you have monster.
So you have to run a bit of an engine for it, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, it's only a small. As I said, it's only a small engine. You've got a few. You've just got.
Yeah, true. So it's a 9-card engine if you run each of them at 3.
Yeah, well, and that's the fusion. Well, the fusion card is searchable off the monster, and the monster's searchable off the field spell. So you do that there. It seems like you could easily fit this in other decks. I feel that this could be maybe a little bit more splashable engine.
Yeah, like the new Kajus, or
Yeah.
what hands used to be.
So keep.
I don't know. I just don't see a spot in any deck that really sort of like. I guess I understand putting the engine in, but I don't understand any deck that would be greatly strengthened by using an extra deck space on this.
That's
Yeah.
it's more of go out, people, explore. I can't think of anything immediately, but it just screams it. I mean, Lightsworn could use it, and that'll be cute. All
Huh.
they need is a
That'd
couple
be
of rank
fun.
4s. There's a
I really don't mind the Dark One's effect, which reads, while this card is face up on the field, each player can only activate a monster effect once per turn. Also, each player can attack with only one monster during each battle phase. That is a very interesting mechanic.
1800 defense
bad
though,
luck.
so you need to have the monster back in your hand, the honest to kind of defend it from one attack.
Yeah, true. Though in saying that, if you had some sort of trap that single targets and destroys or banishes or anything like that, you can wait for their one monster that's allowed to attack to declare an attack and then go from there.
Yeah, that or Swift Scarecrow.
Interesting. Yeah, that
Oh,
too.
yeah, oh, yeah, how'd
Byron
that
will
work
make
for
his
Glenn on the
comeback.
weekend? How'd that work for Glenn on the weekend, Bragg?
I don't know. I just saw him use Hope for Escape instead, and not draw that
of
well.
course.
I didn't watch it that much. Otherwise,
Yeah.
so
we had one guy on the weekend play Exodia or like Chain Burn Exodia or something like that. Idiot.
The best deck.
Yeah.
It's like
Absolutely.
tier 18, but it's still the best deck.
Oh, of course.
yes.
Yeah.
So
absolute
for the
I love these silences.
for the European players, we got the Ordeal of Traveler map revealed. So if you've been to every YCS in Europe this year, my God,
pretty
you
hard.
get quite a good thing. Yeah, so there we go. It's got the whoa, my head is still there. How about that?
I don't think I could even possibly part with that mat looking that good even if it
No,
was
listen,
worth a lot of money.
listen. I'm gonna state this on the podcast. I will give someone $100 for that mat. I'll say it now. If anyone
I'll give
listens,
someone $101 for that, Matt.
102, 102, do I hear
I'll do
102?
I'll do it for $100, a handy, and a bit of side action.
The handy
I'll give
gauntlet
you
has been thrown.
$101 and give you a bit of. No, yeah, you can have it.
What were you about to say, Loklin? What were you about to say?
I was
know
about to say
that's
front or back, and I was like, I don't want either.
Oh boy.
Ugh.
Listen, I'll take that Dark Lord's. I'll take the Dark Lord dick for that, Matt.
So
Wait, just to confirm, is this the one with Ghost Ogre on it?
no, that's last year's one. This has the two Dark Lords and Solemn
No, look.
in the background.
Oi, Andrew.
I'm
you're
getting
about to
confused
be
with my
very
ordeal at
impressed.
once. Jeez.
I'll send you a link,
Check
dude.
check the show notes, my friend. But
I'm on
otherwise,
the notes. Wait,
if you
Oh, actually, yeah, it's kind of hard to find. You make a good point.
just scroll fucking
No,
down.
you're not, Andrew. You're dumb. Yeah.
All right, so
yes. I'm on there now. Yep. No,
So-
I stand by my previous statement. That's really hot.
so the
That's
Dark
so good.
Lords. Who's keen?
Hey, mate, is that our old mate from fucking every Solemn card in the middle there?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Jeez, are we finally going to find out who that is? Fucking hell.
That's the thing. I
What do you
wasn't.
mean? It's-
I hadn't seen them. I mean, it's God, but I just didn't think that.
No,
they
it's
had
not. It's the Moki King.
God damn it.
Oh, Moki.
It's the dreadful part.
So
It's our Lord and Savior Harambe.
Sometimes he gets mad,
That
and
is
that's
dreadful.
dreadful.
Oh boy.
Good Lord.
One
Help
day
us
that
all.
deck will be good. But yeah, I'm curious to in the notes, because I'm not looking at them, I'm looking at you guys. Does it say? Do you have the information on what you
Yeah,
need
sure
to
you are.
get the mat? What is like required to get said mat? What is like the actual requirements? Because I believe
I
it's
can
like
look it up.
attending every I think it's actually quite difficult.
For the viewers at home,
I believe it's very, very, very expensive.
According to the website, the challenge is simple. During 2016, all you have to do is attend every European Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series event and enroll into the main event at each one.
Oh, only okay.
Easy.
Yeah. Oh, all you have to do is go to every bloody. Is anyone gonna do that?
Glasgow.
Europe's a big place. No, dude, UK isn't Europe anymore.
I would if I was Donald
UK
Trump.
UK doesn't count.
No, UK doesn't count.
that would be
Who
so
just
good.
said Donald
Which
Trump?
I mean, obviously, die. You need to attend the full.
Oh boy, I'm gonna post a couple like things around to see if I can get that off someone.
I mean, if you had decent money, you could do it. Like, I mean, considering in Europe, like most places are like a car trip away, as long as you get your passport and shit.
Yeah.
It's
I
probably
just-
not like
That's
equivalent to
ridiculous.
us doing it. I don't know,
Also,
it's probably
what-
us doing it to heaps of different places around Australia, I guess.
What's classified as a what is it? A Konami or Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Championship?
Championship Series, YCSs. You have to go to a YCS at
Oh.
every.
You have to have
place.
gone to all four this year, including and the last
But that's
one's
like,
so the
that's
rest.
Remini.
There's only four.
Where's that? That's
So
Can we
Italy.
get a mat for going to every YCS in Australia in a year? I think we should get those ones.
Yeah, then obviously you get
We do.
Liverpool.
They're called the
and,
Moki on it.
and I forgot the one that you have to do in December, but then yeah, so
Okay,
people at the end of December
Loklin,
get it.
I'm gonna work out something for your birthday to get you a Moki mat.
Speaking of which, I really do enjoy that Konami who just like, compared to everyone else's rumors, they're like, well, fuck Melbourne, we're going back to Sydney.
About that.
Which is good because that's like an hour on the train for us, so that's good.
Yeah, or like 10 minutes.
I approve of this. I approve of this. And as of today, even though I put in the group message, I'm going to say it again. I was approved for my time off, so I will be definitely attending both YCS
Oh,
and
everyone,
Play.
hold your assholes. Bloody Unky Drew's coming to town.
Mate, I'm going to run in there and fucking lose first 3, 5, 10 rounds and then go home crying. But it's going to
You're
be
gonna go X3 and drop.
X3
also,
drop?
yeah,
we
we've
do it.
made this. Are you going to be playing? You reckon you're going to be playing Magis? Is that what you've decided?
A everything is going to be decided on the list that comes beforehand. If they turn around and say Ties is too fucking broken and hit it to 1, then it'll be like, all right, see that later. Just the best of what's left, I think. I would run Magis over ABC just purely due to piloting reasons. I'm just way
You're
more
saying you're
comfortable with
bad?
how to play 'em. I'm just saying I'm better at Magis than people probably are with their
Fair
ABCs.
Let's all call it now. What
That's-
decks are we all going to play at YCS? Let's make
Well,
this
I'm probably gonna play Abacus.
No,
Yeah.
play Klee.
I'll
Cleveland
probably play. Yeah, I will probably play my Ties of the Magis. Is that what we're going to call it? What should we call it? Ties of the Magis?
I'm
like
fine with Ties of the Magis.
I'm also gonna point out,
of the
unless
Buster.
I don't think Cleese can bust through ABC's opening board because they're maining anti-spell, so I actually don't think it's the best idea.
Well, I mean, it's like anything at the moment, right? It's fucking dice roll format, left, right, and center. Unless you're playing Blue Eyes, it's fucking dice roll format.
And you don't know.
You know, you're absolutely right. You're
Also, we
absolutely
don't know if they will be maining anti-spell by January. Who knows? Who knows?
Or Dynamis. Dynamis can go second, guys.
Anti-spell to
so-
0.
right. Yeah, anti-spell to 0.
There, also, we
Oh,
also
I
have
just
one.
realized Anti-Spell hurts Dynamis. God damn it.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah,
are
dude.
I'm like, are you joking?
You reckon,
Excellent.
in all seriousness though, seriousness, do you think anti-spell is something that could get hit, like to 1 possibly?
Yes.
I think we can quote. a
Like
dude
when
that was
Cosmic Coliseum
podcast
got
not
hit
too
out of
long
nowhere.
ago, Where
Sorry, what did you say? Lachlan?
Glasgow said that it's definitely going to get hit.
Yeah, but Glasgow has a hate for all floodgates, and I understand that to a point. So I hope so.
I think
Nah.
it could though. Like if it gets to the point where, so if you look at the logical, historical line of when floodgates got hit. So for example, vanities and skill drain and all the rest, it was because someone had set up turn 1, and the people, they wouldn't lose to the deck, they'd lose to that floodgate. So and at the moment that's happening. People lose to anti-spell. You flip anti-spell, they lose to that. They don't. That's what
yeah,
they
but
lose
there
to.
needs to be that inherent fear in all Pendulum players' hearts, or else everyone just plays Pendulums from now on.
Yeah, but they're fucking already scared out of their fucking brains because we got Strike at 3 still and Warning, and
Yeah,
Pendulum
that's a good
Hole,
point.
and all these other fucking things. There's plenty of outs for Pendulums. They don't need anti-spell to stop that.
Nah, get rid of the other ones, keep Anti-Spell.
Fucking hell.
I'd take Strike to 1 if I could keep Anti-Spell at 3.
Wow. Actually, in fairness, when do we think Strike's gonna get hit?
Probably not.
No.
Not anytime soon, not unless other things drastically change. And speaking of which, they may not ever change, or not for quite a while, if we do get Feather Duster, like we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Please.
Feather Duster itself is
Please.
getting support in the OC.
We got confirmed not too long ago that we were getting reprint. That was correct, yeah?
Yeah. No, they didn't put it in
that'd be
Thingamajiggy. Did they?
I
No,
was
they-
gonna say that'd be scummy. If
But
they,
in the OCG, though, yeah, they do have Harpy's Feather Duster support. It has a trap card that surges it, I'm pretty sure. Which, okay.
Alright.
And that's the thing. So, and it is due back. Like, they got a.
That's gonna be more of a blowout card than Raigeki, right?
It's like this thing, but then it's almost as much as a blowout card as any other back row card, right?
What?
It's a Rageki's
I think,
not
it could,
like,
I think it could bring in. So, yeah, I was just going to say, I think it'd bring an interesting element to the game, like in terms of overcommitting your back row and whatnot.
I mean, we could talk about these things being back, but no, I can't have Exciton Knight. God forbid.
Oh, Exciton will be. I would have Harpies before Exciton because Exciton with ABCs would be completely freaking ugh.
I know.
But it would promote
And,
not
I mean-
overextending your back row, but then we get into a bit of more of a rush format. Like Exciton's whack is just, but then again, Exciton you can go into easier than Feather Duster, so and also you can't OTK after Exciton.
And then
Yep.
there's the subtle point which everyone's missing is that Exodon hits both back row and front row.
True. And
Front
pendulums
row.
and
I've never heard it referred to as front row.
I'm coining the term.
what else? Would you call it realistically?
The second back row, first back row.
Monster Zone. It's called the fucking Monster Zone.
What, opposed to the spell and trap zone? Is that what you also call it?
Yeah.
Shut up.
This is Yu-Gi-Oh! We can't call anything as to what it's really called. Everything has to have an
And
abbreviation
you
or a
can't put your,
nickname.
and you can't put your
Yeah.
decks in the right place either. I hate people who use freaking magic placing decks.
What,
I
wait,
do put my
what-
deck in the
what-
right
what's
place
that?
if it's got the markings
Stones?
on the mat. I will. If it's a bare mat, then no.
You play. the
Wait,
bear.
wait. Where do
Nah,
magic
it goes
players
in the
put
top
their?
right corner on an angle.
Yes, Loklin, I love you.
Get out.
You are correct. This is the only thing.
They tilt their decks.
Go and play
Yeah, I
magic.
tilt my deck. Where do
on
you
tilt.
put your deck, Braggio?
I put it in the correct position as per Konami guidelines. I also
Oh,
play
okay.
scissors,
So
paper,
where do you
rock.
banish
I
Where do you?
I
What
don't
you're asking the
intentionally
audience is
draw.
where do you get your deck out?
Yeah, I
So
also
where's
I
the bench
single
again?
sleeve, no double sleeving for me.
I don't know. I don't double sleeve either.
Yeah, you fucking triple sleeve your play.
I triple sleeve.
I had a
Oh,
dude come in with like triple sleeved, full rarity mermails.
that's just weird.
You would
I
though.
think- Alright, what about your guys' thoughts? And this is just pure personal a vendetta against it, but something about clear sleeves, all those sleeves with the fucking lines with them that are almost clear, it triggers me a little bit. I reckon they just look so bad.
Oh no. They trigger me if that's all you're playing. If you're playing it like as an inner sleeve to a bigger sleeve to like double sleeve your extra deck, I think that looks really cool. But if you're just playing that clear sleeve, it's like please kill yourself.
I don't know about that part, but
No, I agree with Blake. Honestly,
Thank
just
you.
take your life.
I agree with
Idiot,
mass
Blake.
suicide.
What are you
maybe just
talking
lop off a limb or something. I don't know about killing themselves.
Just
Fucking-
Just give them a little bit of leprosy. That'd be fun. Jeez.
It is the leprosy of.
Shit.
We're done.
Yeah. No.
Shall we use that as a cue to transition into our next topic? Very
Yes.
subtly and not
Obviously.
obviously.
So
Obviously.
with Invasion
Here's our
Vengeance
seamless transition.
fast approaching, we have the new Subterror cards
Wait.
on our doorstep, charging down our walls, hitting
Buttholes.
our parents.
So the
Subterror,
question is, are you terrified?
yeah.
End your life.
Are you sub-terrified? Subterror Behemoth Ultra Maphus, level 12 Earth Pyro monster. At 3000 attack, 1800 defense. It's a flip effect monster, of course. You can change all
Whoa.
other face-up monsters on the field to face-down defense position. You can only use this effect once per turn. Okay.
Sounds like it does some things.
Why would you put a once per turn clause on? Like, who cares? Because, like, I guess you can maybe loop. When a face-up monster is flip face down and you control no face-up monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand defense position. Once per turn, you can change this card to face down defense position. Yes. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so the normal Subterror effect. Yep, that's definitely a level 12 Subterror monster. There's no way that can't be difficult to get out. Anyway, we go into the Subterror Nemesis Archer, level 3 Earth Fairy type monster. 1600 attack, 1400 defense. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks an opponent's face down defense monster, you control another Subterror monster, you can shuffle that opponent's monster into the deck. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Subterror monster from the deck in face up or face down defense position. You can use that effect of Subterror Nemesis Archer once per turn.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So it doesn't exclude either effects. You can actually resolve both in one
Yes.
turn. That's really nice. I really like that as a card.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good.
That is some shenanigans to be had with
there
look at the
some-
clips right there.
Is there some sort of Subterror Gravekeeper deck?
Not yet.
Grave
Wait,
terrors.
no, they have to come back from the graveyard. Like, I'm pretty sure
Subkeepers.
Nemesis Warrior targets it, so you couldn't do it under Necro Valley. But what are you thinking?
I just read face down defense position.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Jeez.
of course, of course.
And then
There's
the la-
also,
What?
if you using that logic, there's also that is it Penguin Knight? I think it was.
Yeah, Penguin Soldier.
yeah,
Penguin
Penguin.
Soldier, yeah.
Oh yeah, because
Penguin
Penguin Knight was pretty
Soldier.
legit.
Can we make Penguin Subterrors?
You can bounce a whole.
Penguin
You can keep flipping it face up.
Terror
And
Penguin.
you can bounce the
Penguin
whole,
Soldier it was, yeah.
You can bounce their whole
Yep.
field. You can bounce their whole field.
Terror Penguins.
Terror
Terror
Penguins.
Penguins.
Hidden City of Penguins. Oh, that's good.
Oh,
That's
speaking
good.
of which,
Just give it an
LLPS
errata.
stage 2, huh?
And then
Wait, what is this thing called? Penguin what?
Penguin Soldier. It's
Soldier.
like the most OG Yu-Gi-Oh card, other than like Man-Eater Bug.
Oh,
yeah, it's so good. And last on the
returns to
Subterror
hand.
Behemoths. Was that? Yes, it targets, returns to hand. Two cards. So if
This is like blowing Lockwood's mind right now.
I'm not
Secret text,
understanding.
boys. Secret text.
I don't think I understand anything here. Let's just move on.
So in the last Subterror Behemoth is Subterror Stygio Kraken, level 5 Earth Sea Serpent effect monster. Flip effect monster, sorry.
Coming for your months.
Attack 1600, defense 2400. You can target set cards on the field equal to the number of Subterror Behemoth monsters you control, destroy them. You can only use that effect once per turn, and then when they face up, monsters flip face down. You can special summon this card from the hand. Once per turn, you can change this card to face down defense position. So the normal Subterror Behemoth. So you got your back row. So probably the 2 card play they're thinking is you play Ultra Maphis, flip all their cards face down, then flip up Stygio Kraken to destroy the cards.
It's like a better time wizard.
So what about
Do you take that back?
Subterror
Time
Ghost
was the
Tricks.
best card.
Yeah, that's it. Subterror Ghost Tricks could be a thing.
Subtricks?
Subtricks.
Sub-trick.
Ghost terrors. Either way.
And then we also have the trap card. Normal trap, you can banish 1 Subterror monster from your graveyard for the rest of this turn. Face down defense position monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects, and your opponent cannot target them with card effects. If this card is on the field is destroyed by a card effect, you can add 1 Subterror monster from your deck to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Subterror monster you control, change it to face down defense position. So the trap cards in the graveyard continue. Also, I'm pretty sure since it's a trap card, you can use it in your opponent's turn. So that's kind of cute.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that
Wee.
doesn't
That's pretty schemy. I like
doesn't
that.
specify it. So someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So yeah, there we go. All the Subterror cards kind of underwhelming. They chucked the spirals. And it's a damn shame too. So maybe they have to be played.
But
with...
Utopia Kaiser.
Maybe they have to be played with prediction.
Utopia Subterrors?
There
What
you
do you...
go.
Utopia Terror?
Yeah,
Please?
I guess Stygio Kraken's pretty easy. It's much easier to summon since it's level 5, so you need the level 1 card to go with Nemesis Warrior to summon it from the deck. So it's not that hard. It's just getting around the board isn't the easiest of jobs, so that's probably where they're going to get hurt. It's a little bit of a shame. Yeah, does anyone really have any opinions on the Subterror cards?
I think they will be cute.
Yeah,
I think they're slow as shit, but they've got cool stuff.
Yeah, that's...
Rock deserves better.
Yeah, poor Rock.
What? What did you just say?
The Rock
You heard
deserves
me.
better.
I think they need their own archetype specific semi Book of Eclipse kind of card. I think that would do them a lot of justice.
Yeah, which doesn't have the...
I see what you're saying. Just like...
Archetype specific, you need to
everything face
control a
down and-
Subterror, blah blah blah.
Nah, make it super, like, generic. Just make Book of Eclipse again.
Without the draw effect.
Your opponent doesn't get to draw. Yeah, your opponent doesn't get to draw.
Like
Book of
Morphin
Subterror
Dark
Eclipse.
or whatever.
And just leaves them face down, and then put the quaking effect on it. Done.
And your opponent loses the duel. at the
Yeah.
end of it.
It's just body cards being locked
When
in
your
face
opponent
down.
reveals Exodia to win the duel, they don't.
I still think Crystal Wing would be
Best-
hilarious.
best-
Crystal Wing, negate
Crystal Wing
Exodia,
negates.
gains infinity attack.
Gained infinite attack for game.
Done.
Oh, brilliant.
If only we're
Absolutely
playing in
brilliant.
Animu Land. Alright, so we'll move
Yeah.
on to... Okay, so with Invasion Vengeance, so no one's keen to pick up the Subterrors? You people are gonna... you're just keen for something else
No,
from
fuck
Invasion
that, dude.
Vengeance?
No, actually, they're tier 1, and I will be selling all of them at hype price.
Oh, really? Nobody else has that idea because apparently everyone's hyping the dumb cards that everyone's going to want. So,
Yeah.
But-
Don't
Okay,
worry,
so
we have Slayer ability. We can just hype cards like Mega Capital G and just say they're good.
They're
Oh,
gonna-
speaking of
of
which,
course.
that is so far narrowed down to 2 cards, being that of Totally Awesome, formerly Good Friend Tree Toad.
no, stop. You're part of the
10%.
problem.
Yes,
You're
Totally
part of the
Awesome
problem.
is a
No.
card that is in this set.
Tree Toad. I'm calling it Tree Toad.
No one's listening to you, triple sleeving, no deck zone, fuck.
Don't call it Tree Toad, I don't like you.
You have been taken out of the voting circle.
Listen,
This is
friends.
great.
Let's have a vote.
He totally misunderstands the situation.
Tree Toad.
Oh,
That's how democracy works.
oh.
This is how people end up with eight.
Unless it's one that differs from mine.
And then
Blake,
Dimension
you're totally right.
Oh god.
And then Pot of Avidity, and then D-Barrier, and whatever.
Yeah.
Bunch
Pot-
of-
Yeah,
cards.
D-Barrier. Can we have a short discussion on D-Barrier? Because I really don't like it as a card. I think
You
it's...
don't like
I'm
silly.
running out of no, I'm joking. Go for it.
I just
This
think that
card
it's
It's
compared to a lot of other cards which have come out as powerhouses, at least they've had the appropriate appropriate restrictions, and I believe it's a card that gets played a little bit too easily, a bit too freely, like very, very little cost-wise. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think this card is going to be in everybody's side deck because it's just like
or main deck.
to me,
Why not main deck?
oh yeah, or main deck because to me it's like it's you know how okay, Light Imprisoning Mirror is a great card, but not against every deck. This card is I would almost say like it generically just hurts everything.
What is
Because
it?
unless
My disagreement is with it is that they combine skill drain for a specific type with Vanity's Emptiness.
exactly,
that's
and
kinda
that's
fucked up.
amazing.
Without
Like,
a cost and without kind of like any easy counters.
Yep, you don't even have to pay 1,000 to activate it.
Yeah. So for any of those who haven't read it before, so read something like this. Declare one monster type. Now this includes Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Pendulum. So Ritual aren't even safe on this one. This turn, neither player can special summon monsters of that declared type. Also negate the effects of face-up monsters on the field of that declared type while they are on the field. So basically, if you've got a Pendulum deck and you normal summon a Pendulum, they can flip this not only to negate that Pendulum's effect if it's non-summon, that person is then also locked out of Pendulums for the rest of the turn.
Yeah, card's fucked. Like
Yeah, the
seriously,
other thing it doesn't hit is effect monsters. Like, fucking hell, they might as well have done that just to fucking finish it off.
Okay,
I wish
so
they had
just-
normal monsters in and not effect monsters. Just
Negate
to
the
screw
effect
up
of all
the,
normal
like-
monsters.
Wait, no, what's the point? Never mind. Just like,
oh, congratulations, Loklin.
Metal Foes could still get around that if it was effect monsters, because obviously effect monsters locks out everything. That isn't Gemini Pearl. No, that's still.
But they're Pendulums still, so they still can't special summon.
Yeah. True,
I
true.
think as well. So yeah, so basically, what I'm seeing with this card is going to be, okay. So you going first. You set it. You work out what your opponent's playing. The moment you do, you get to flip and call anything, and that's it for their turn. And because of the format we're playing in, where your life lasts a single turn, this is bad because we're gonna turn into like
How fucked up is
Oh.
this? If you do it in an ABC mirror, you set it, like, assuming this is game 2 or you know the person, so you set up, you make your Fusion Buster, you do everything like that, then you flip on their turn. No Fusion for you. I got to do all
No.
mine free, but no Fusion for you.
Andrew, we were discussing this. It gets worse. You can just call XC, and they have no way to even get into the fusion because you can't. It's like you can make them commit to a board, and just before they do their plays, you go, okay, no XCs, and they go, well, now I have a dead Thrasher, a dead hand because I was meant
Like,
to dump this
it's
hand.
just so stupid. Like, it says that you can't, neither player can special summon it. I mean, like, as if that's a
Oh,
restriction
no.
on the person
Yeah.
who flips it. It's clearly off turn. Like,
It's a
I
trap.
just-
It's meant to be off turn. Like,
I
yeah, it's
don't see the balance in this card. That's my main issue. Like every other
Yeah.
power card that's coming out, like for example, Ties of the Brethren. I love it and it's broken as shit. But you look at that, pay 2,000. It has to target. It has ridiculously specific conditions. You can't conduct your battle phase the turn you do it. Like it's got 1,000,001 things to neg you so that it trades off with the good parts. Whereas this is just like, yeah, no, just flip it and rip it. You're fine.
In saying that, though, I think floodgates or opponent killing cards have always been like that. It's like, not to this extent, but it's always been just like, Vanity's Emptiness.
Well,
okay.
Strike stops a play, for example, and this card, I would argue, stops a turn. That's
Yeah,
the comparison I'd make.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
What are your thoughts, Bragg, Loklin? Any comment?
Yeah, I definitely agree with it. It's maybe a bad card for the game, but I mean it's not continuous. Like if the game slows down to a point, maybe this card had maybe a
Dude,
place,
I
but
think-
not now.
Yeah, and in saying that, like my argument with Strike staying where it is, well, look, you know, the cards we've got in this game, we need 3 Strike to settle everything. Like, there needs to be some kind of card to keep everything at bay. That was my argument for Strike. This is not that card.
And I agree with
Like-
that. Yeah.
Like,
I think
this
there's,
is not that card.
I think the bigger problem is that they're like, Konami's pushing these decks where they're going, hey, these are going to be your tier 1 decks, right? And if you don't play them in a certain way, it all of a sudden is just a bad deck, right?
Well, that's true. I mean,
So
you
there
got like
is the
ABCs,
next-
for example. You don't have this card in ABCs in the mirror match, and you're going to lose on that just on that merit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like they were like, we're gonna release Cosmos, and if you try to do anything special with them, they're not gonna work anymore. You have to play this as a basic deck. Like besides like Viking Cosmo or whatever, you know, like you've got to play this normally. Like
Yeah, if you
use
didn't have
the
the
effects.
E-tallies, you'd go on.
tag out using their turn. Like it's a their turn sort of game. But then they're releasing cards that are like punishing people for playing the decks the way that they're supposed to be played. Like you can't like there's no variation there because it hurts the deck too much.
Yeah, if I go back to my example of pendulums, one of my main issues once again was at least if I set up scales and I got my pendulums, it's like I go for a summon or I don't, and I've got to calculate and bear the risk of the summon going through like to strike or to bottomless or to warning or something like that. But at least I get a chance to fucking like give it a go and roll with the dice. I can say, oh, maybe I'll summon 2 rather than 4 and then go from there. I might still get wrecked, but hey, I gave it a go. But to just flip a card and just be like, you're not even allowed to try. I don't know. That seems just very cancerous to me.
I also think that we're going to hit a stage where it's going to be like I think we were complaining about dice roll format beforehand. I think this just cements dice roll format. It's like, oh, did you go first? You drew this? Well, that's even if you drew crap and you don't have a good first turn hand, guess what? This is still going to stop your opponent for a turn. So good luck. You have another turn. It's like,
yeah. This is exactly why I used to hate and you guys have heard me complain about it a million times. But back when the OCG and TCG things were combined on Yu-Gi-Oh Pro, sorry, it was the whole Ptolemaeus going into Azathoth in standby phase of your opponent's turn. So that play was you had any 2 level 4s, you overlaid into Ptolemaeus. In the end phase, it attached Deltros in it. And in your opponent's standby phase, you detach 3, you ranked up into Azathoth. Azathoth's effects is like if you XC summon it, your opponent cannot activate monster effects that turn. Simple as that. And it's just like, you might as well pass turn. You're pretty much done.
Yep. What are you meant to do? I don't like. Yeah, and we were just complaining about dice roll format, and here we are with this garbage. It's like I don't see why. I don't understand why. So,
Wait,
you know. But yeah,
So
we'll see what it does.
you're looking to
This
pick up.
card's gonna-
You're looking to pick up.
Oh, dude. It's going to be okay. What's the I don't think it becomes more expensive than Tree Toad, but I think this is going to be an expensive
Yeah.
card.
Unfortunately, as we discussed, like this is the price of the meta. Sometimes you do have to forgo the fun and play a card you hate because you know that without it you're just
You'll
gonna
win.
lose. Absolutely. Like even I don't really like running strikes, for example, but it's like if you don't, there's a good chance you lose. Simple as that.
Yep.
You get snowballed by pendulum or one thing or another.
On paper,
It's,
if you see this card's cheaper than Tree Toads, there you go, totally awesome. Yeah, I'd say buy it because my God, it in theory should be more expensive because they're both gonna be secret. There's no
More,
qualms
yeah,
with that.
more generic. Well, it's more generic. It stops more. It's better against more decks than Tree Toad. So, like in theory, this should be the most expensive card. But I guess it depends how much
Well,
it's printed and blah blah blah.
Seeing as Magis are very trap heavy as well and first turn base, like at the moment I'm really brainstorming if I want to pick it up and main 1 or 2 of them as well. I'd have to play around with some ratios, but I'm like, if this card is this fucked, then I probably have to play it.
Well, not just that. I think in the main deck, I can't think of a deck right now that it matters if they have 1 play before you activate it. Like for example, ABCs, activate Union Hanger. Great. Flip this I feel as though just because you're going first does not mean, or that just that you don't know what your opponent's playing does not mean it's a bad card. I think you can just wait for them to do anything and then just go, oh, of course, me being a player that knows the meta, flip this and call whatever, and that's my turn.
In saying that, just like as I was thinking in my head now, I know it's not in the main meta anymore, but like Dark Magicians and Blue Eyes, that is the only thing that kind of makes me think maybe this doesn't belong in the main deck. Like because if they're just immediately dead, like those cards thrive on effect monsters and normal monsters, and
You can
don't
stop.
really
In saying
have
that,
to XC.
the most scared part of Blue Eyes, the most scary part of Blue Eyes for me is the extra deck. So
If they
like you could just call Synchro.
Yeah, if they summon a Sage, call Synchro, then they've got a dead Sage on field or a dead Egg on field.
That's pretty good.
That you can banish the Egg.
It's not totally. Yeah, I think
I
it's
think
not
Blue Eyes has
totally.
good options though. Like if chances are there's a way to get to an XC if you don't want to go Synchro. I suppose at least you can only do one per turn. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like it wouldn't absolutely kill their turns. Like they can still get strong monsters on board, like stand alone without going into the extra deck necessarily.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is my only reservation about playing this card as a main deck card.
But how much of a chance do they stand against the next turn of ABC? But then they play Dimension Barrier, then lock them out the turn after. So maybe you're right. Blue Eyes for the win.
No, Blue Eyes are bad still. I'm sticking with this podcast.
I was brought to the attention by Austin actually that bloody Fabled card, Katish, actually seems like such a really good tech. I'm interested to get a hold
What's
of one
it
of
do?
those for Blue Eyes.
Fabled.
So its effect reads that if it's discarded, you get to target one face-up card on the field. I can't remember if it's limited to monster or just card.
Yep.
But you just destroy it. So it's a main deck, searchable out to Jargon and
Most-
other things,
Yeah, most things.
because it is a light level 1 tuner.
Yes.
And you can search it.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
That's
So you can
cute.
ditch it with Twin Twister or with Melody or something like that, and then you get out of the thingo. So, yeah, pretty cool little tech. As it turns out, on eBay at least, I couldn't find one for anything less than like $12 or $13. So I'm not sure if I want to run it or not, but we'll see.
Yep. Been repping that for a little while. It lurks around. It floats in and out. If you predict that there's going to be Jargons, play it. And I was half tempted to play this against Logan with Vanities, but I just settled on other spells instead of it. Then again, that might have come in handy. Might have come in handy, but most likely not. Ooh, I'm just looking at some of the Yu-Gi-Oh!
Sorry, Catsith it is.
Yes.
One face-up card on the field and destroy it. So it is also an out to Floodgates and potentially Pendulum Zones if you wanted it to.
Yes.
So one combo you could do, for example, is against Pendulum, Twin Twister, ditch it as cost, hit 2 back row, and then it pops one of the face-up pendulums, like one of the scales.
Yeah, so it's like you're getting even more value off the. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that was used against me in the Hurstville LLDS. I believe that was used against me because playing Cleese,
Yep.
they hit 2 of my back row and Scout, and I was like, well,
Yeah, if you
fuck
play
me.
the same Blue Eyes player as me, or they was sharing the same build, yeah, that was there too. That was their outfit.
I believe it
jamming.
was a Blue Eyes player. Yeah,
Yes.
there you go.
Now, then again,
which
it
is
only hits
cool.
face-up cards, so it doesn't touch the Subterror monsters.
Oh,
My God,
Subterra's new
Subterra's
meta.
new meta.
Don't. Yeah.
Here we go.
Done. It's done. Anyway, so let's move on to a comment on an email. We ignored the emails this week, but keep sending them. We'll probably get to them next time. And the comment's from Phony Ignoble Billingham. Do you believe that children...
Bloody ignoble.
Yeah, good old ignoble.
Oh.
Do you believe that children, 4 to 13 is his definition of children, should be playing Yu-Gi-Oh? I've had people in the past mention that this game isn't for kids. Do you agree on the fact that even though this game is quoted to be marketed to kids, would you recommend them getting into the game? As many kids play at his locals don't have a clue about most recent decks and play decks like Bad Dark Magicians without Magic Circle and the like. And then they get trampled by other players and they never seem to enjoy it. So what do you guys think? Should Yu-Gi-Oh be a children's card game?
I'm gonna say
Yes.
something real quick. I'm gonna say something really quickly, just because it's super relevant. We had a kid play at like a tournament on the weekend. The tournament that I was just saying that Logan won. Logan first round versed a kid who I would say must have been younger than 10 years old. I honestly say like between 7 and 8. And it was interesting. Like he was very much enjoying the game, wasn't doing anything, had crap cards, but I mean, like he was enjoying it. and he was having a lot of fun. And
Was standing
No.
up and playing.
Losing isn't fun.
Yeah.
pun?
it's-
Who said what?
Lachlan
I'm
said
not
losing
sick of
isn't fun.
Facebook, tell me what
I know, but he was having fun, and because of the way Logan was interacting with him, it made it okay for him. And I'm like, that's cool. If we could be more like that, I think that's totally fine. But I
What?
just think
That's what
I think it's a very difficult game for a kid to get into because of how
I'd-
complicated the game is.
I'd probably
said
go as far as going into what we found recently, Blake, which was how the Nara store operated its difference between
Oh,
amateur
yeah,
and professional players.
yeah,
That
jeez
seemed to be
almighty.
a really good system. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was talking to the guy from Nara, and basically what they do is I think it's Saturday or Sunday in the
Sundays,
morning.
yep.
Yeah,
completely.
Sunday in the morning they have a tournament for people who say aren't competitive in the game, like, and kids mainly. So they have a tournament where all the kids come in, they can play like essentially what you would be doing at school. Like if you anyone played Yu-Gi-Oh at school, it's just like everyone comes in at this time. They all fuck around with their cards for a while. There are some of the more adult like players in there helping the kids where they can, and like, you know, working out trades for them and stuff, and like making sure everything's all good. But they do that so that later on in the afternoon, when, you know, our age group would go for the tournaments, that the kids aren't really turning up then and just getting the crap romped out of them. So it kind of works better than having everything in one and then not promoting kids to come at all. Like, yes, you know, these kids might not be playing whatever, right? But at least they're doing something so that like we would do at school, where we could come in and play cards with a bunch of randoms. So I think in that regard it's good. But in what Ignoble's saying, it's really like the meta's really not child friendly. I think rulings.
That's where I'm
It's
gonna.
ridiculous.
So yeah, sure, it's great to hold a second tournament and stuff, but there's also, you still have them still playing their card game at school. They can still come in and sit at the back of the room on the last table and still have fun back there. Having a second tournament is maybe like a casual play, like I wouldn't. It's not structured like a tournament down there, is it? It's not like Swiss rounds.
No. It's more like a.
Is there a fee as well? Is it casual play?
It's more like recess.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
it. So
it's
it
just
is
casual.
casual play. Cool. Yeah. So it's not like
It's
trying
casual
to run.
play, but like what he'll do is he'll go, oh hey, you know, I'll generate this thing on my computer, and you versus you versus you versus you, and they do that for like an hour, and then after that they'll go, do you guys want to do another like round, quote unquote, or like it would just so like people can all interact with each other and like meet new people, I guess, and stuff like that. So I think that's cool, but like for what Ignoble's saying, no, there's no way like people of that age can understand the meta and like understand these goddamn rulings. It's so like we barely understand the rulings.
When I was down in Nara, like one long thing I had to explain to a few people. Most of them knew it down there, but there were some players who I think were a little bit newer to it or hadn't been in the competitive environment as much. And like for example, one thing that happened was there was an attempt on my Ties of the Brethren special summon, which is an effect special summon. They attempted to resolve Solemn Strike against it, and I needed to elaborate on the difference between an inherent special summon and an otherwise,
boy.
I guess you could say, what
I'm
effect
sorry.
special summon or a regular one, I guess is the difference.
It's a special summon through an effect. Yeah, effect special summon is probably the best way to say it. Oh
Yeah.
God.
It's stuff like that is a little bit tougher for the kids or newer players to get around, and it's a weird mechanic. Took me a while to wrap my head around it initially.
Dude, I just got the idea of a semi-nom summon explained to me today. What the?
Can you explain that? It doesn't sound explainable.
Listen. No. Listen, that is just a term for something that we all understand anyway. You know how alternate dragon can't be called the haunted or whatever if it's not special summoned in the proper way.
Correct. Yes.
That's like
because it has the
summon.
condition that has to be
semi.
It just has a condition that says it.
Semi.
Yeah.
Nomi.
Yeah.
It's the old phrasing.
Okay, so let me just put this out there. If he's calling it a semi-nomi summon, I don't know why, because alternate can literally not be normal summoned under any circumstance.
but it's
Yeah, but that's like the
No,
wording.
it's
It's
so
like
yeah,
Blackluster
so,
Soldier.
yeah, it's so you got a Nomi summon and a semi Nomi. It's the old phrase. It's just what they used to be called. Nomi was you can't be summoned no matter what except by the first card effect. It can never come back even if it was must first be special summoned.
Ah, right. Okay.
So
yep,
that's a
yep,
Nomi.
Yep.
Then you have a
okay.
semi Nomi which had the looser clause on that effect. That was the
Yeah.
old
Okay.
phrase.
So
I think
the
Konami's
Nomi was
coined
more,
it
it's
with
more like what BLS kind of thing.
yeah, and then Konami had a coin phrase I think I saw earlier today with like summon by effect and something else. Like it was, and then yeah, first be summoned by effect. That kaiju that Blake's talking about is worded wrong. They probably should have had the must first be special summoned.
Oh yeah. Me and Loklin were talking about this just before. The Mecha Kaiju just not being able to be special summoned out
Oh my
via
God,
slumber or
that's so
anything.
dumb.
This is just because, and they worded it wrong, but that's the way it's being ruled. And like now, people were arguing with me about it, and I was like, guys, that's just the way it's ruled, and you need to understand this. It's been treated this way, and that's it. And it's like,
So that's the anti-kaiju. Is that correct?
yeah,
Yeah.
it can't be
And they-
special summoned out via slumber.
Oh, right. Yeah, because I had that happen to me when I was a kaiju player, and they were saying
I
it did
think it's
work,
the
and I just
same-
went along with it.
I think
And-
I think we're thinking about the same player, Andrew, and that
Yeah.
happened to me too.
Like my Magis had like Magis are probably quite literally probably the worst matchup he could have asked for, so I wasn't really too worried. Because like Kaiju Slumber didn't hurt any of my creatures, and then he could only tribute over one for a Magi, and then I just Tempest the one he summoned. So
Yeah, see,
That
this
did
is
well.
such confusing, like, and paying cost and like all this is so confusing, and I really don't think that this is a good environment for new players at all.
Yeah,
but
it's
we do our
you'll,
best.
you'll learn somehow though.
But then like,
It'll also depend on who you hang around too, though. Like if you hang around
Oh,
competitive
absolutely.
people and you have a will to become competitive, you will pick this shit up. That's simple. That's a fact.
it's
Yep,
yeah.
absolutely.
And then you also have this thing. It's also like anything, like professional sports. They market a lot to kids, and kids are probably the biggest buyer of their merchandise. And then they play like little league or whatever amongst themselves. They don't play against
Yeah,
they don't
that's
play.
There's a 12-year-old Asian that's better at everything you do.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, you know what? There was a kid and actually, you know what? I've got to say, just a thing to this. There was, how old? Hey guys, how old was that kid playing Cosmo at the LLDS? If you remember him, Bragg?
Which LLDS? Hurstville or another one?
Nara.
Ah,
Okay, there was a
I wish I was
kid, maybe 10, like I think he was 10 or 11, maybe. He was playing Cosmo, and he romped the shit out of me. Game 1, I'd somehow managed to win game 2 and 3. I then discovered he was the Dragon Duelist champion for all of Australia, and he was like 10 or 11, and I was like, listen, you are better than me in every single way in comparison. There is no way at your age I understood anything to do with this game. And he was helping me with rulings at some point. I was like, listen, what the fuck? So yes, you are right. There are always kids who are better than you at this, but I think treating it like a sport, like Bragg just said, is a really good analogy because yeah, it's like
None of the
actually-
benefits of playing sport, though.
oh yeah, exactly. Also, who do you think is a bigger buyer?
Hold
though?
on,
Competitive
stop there.
scene-
Hold on. Yeah, sure, not the physical activity, but like the weekly coming in and bonding with people. Like it's motherfucking church. It's good for the soul.
Listen. Yu-Gi-Oh is motherfucking church. Bragg.
I don't know if church and kids should be mixing so much, but anyway, let's.
Oh no.
Jeez.
No, daddy, please.
Quick, Solemn. Solemn can hear you.
No.
And speaking of Solemn, Solemn Strike. My God, it's gone up in price. We're in the Market Watch segment now. By
Market watch time.
Market watch. Come on, grab your friends.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So like Solemn Strike has entered massive. Like it's become nearly a true staple again. It's 3 of in main decks a fair bit, which is kind of crazy.
Cough 2. I'm only playing 2 people.
I haven't seen it. I personally don't believe in running at 3 in anything. Not if you're going to run warning as well. Like,
So much
bit
so,
excessive,
it's
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going off, you know.
It is
Where's
a
it at? Let's take a look at the
$40. It's a
yugiohs.
$40 reprint.
Oh, are we talking about Solemn Strikes? I
Yeah.
zoned out for a second.
Yeah.
No,
what's more
yes.
accurate? What's more
Welcome
accurate? The
to
app or
10 minutes ago
the
when we started.
app or the website? Which one's more accurate?
I need to
We-
talk about Solemn
I-
Strikes.
Either or, but also we like, so obviously the prices you get prices can be they fluctuate, they do stuff, but it is a good sense of where cards are. So it's not exactly locked in stone all the card prices we say, but seeing it's gone up 50% in the last few days is, you know, pretty
Yeah.
good indicator.
I really
Yeah.
want to talk about this, which is that I honestly
No,
think this is
Loklin
what has
doesn't get to
happened.
talk about this at all anymore. Stop. Okay.
A
No,
month
please
from
continue.
now, it will go back down and it'll be $25.
Did
The
it
Mega
really
Man.
go that low?
Okay.
I reckon it'll go that low, right?
Why?
Because I reckon right now,
By the way, you know
everyone
this is.
opened those mega
lowest-
packs. Right? Shut up, Blake. Shut up. Everyone
Like the
opened
lowest
those
has been
mega
is like
packs,
45.
Yeah.
No.
Then it's
The
gonna
strikes
go
we're getting. You can pick up the reprinted strikes for 25.
Yeah, really.
Where?
Yeah. The people, websites, places.
Oh, okay. I
Anyway.
saw 30. I did see 30, but yeah, that's it.
So what I think has happened is it's gone up because everyone has bought the strikes that are available. There needs time to be more pulled strikes, like more pulled mega pack strikes, and that hasn't happened yet. As soon as like a month from now, everything's going to fall back down because there'll be more strikes on the market. Like
See,
currently,
that-
look for mega pack strikes. There aren't that many.
It
So-
could also be a knee-jerk reaction to ABC though as well, because people say, set up, strike on Tsukiyomi, win.
Yep. And well, it's also, remember, Loklin, price is also demand for card. And the demand for strike is so high that when there's just none available right now, it's
That's
like
what I'm saying. So as soon as there is more available, it's
that-
going to
it's still but it's still the same demand. Like it's still, people still know that they can sell it for that price because people will pay that price. Like if you're selling strikes, you want to be making money. Like unless you're, selling to a friend or something, you can sell for like $40 and people will buy it. Like the Megatin one, that is. But look, because if you can go on YGO prices and go, look, it's gone for 45, I'll give it to you for 40.
Yeah.
People are still going to do
Also,
it. And,
so
like,
in America, like, so if you go off American prices or so Australian prices, $35 is on average for a 10. Sometimes you find them for 30, sometimes you find them for 40. So 35 for an average 10. You have a 1 in 5 chance of pulling a strike per 10.
do we
Three.
know that's how the ratios are working properly, or is that
Yeah, so no,
is
well,
that just maths?
so it's 15 secret resins set. Yeah, 3 chances. Yeah.
So
that
it's
maths?
it is just maths though.
Yeah, so it's a 1 in 5 chance. So you're paying $40 for 1 in 5 chance of a card that the best deck in the format plays either 2 to 3 of. Most of the time 3.
And which would just be better buying singles at that point. But I think it's
No,
like
but where do
desires.
the
Desires-
singles come from?
Yeah, exactly. Somebody, you have to.
eBay,
Somebody has.
eBay land. That's where they come from.
Someone has to buy the tins at some point. I think
taking them straight off the.
They could, but then you could also do what I did with Blue Eyes, and you say fuck the police and like buy all the singles.
Yeah,
it's true.
You definitely should buy singles, but there's still some jerk buying the tin, and hoping they crack. What's the other good secret in that set? Well, they're hoping they crack another Solemn Strike, to be honest. But
Yep, true. I think. By the way,
There's a Chronos fusion and stuff.
I don't think it's as reprinted, or like I don't think it's as easier. But Desires did technically get another round of cards with the special edition of Dark Illusions.
that's just an unlimited run, dude. It's every
yeah,
pack.
yeah. It's like it's. But what I'm saying is like it's given people more more product to buy to get it on the market, and it's like I think it's even with a reprint, it's going to stay above.
Yeah.
Like the reprints will be what, $50?
Yeah,
more?
it's like the Solemn Strike wasn't
unless it's
hit
gold.
by.
Unless it's gold.
It's like Breakers of Shadows special edition and unlimited print didn't hit it. Didn't hit that
Yeah,
card
true.
by any chance.
At
It was
all.
just it just fell out of favor because people were kind of opting to go second. So then Solemn Strike fell out. But while people are now opting to go first, Solemn Strike is an optimal card. Man, we've spent a lot of time talking about Solemn Strike. Other cards.
Look, it's relevant because like with the dude, we're gonna get onto ban list banter all over again soon. Like once this season comes in, it's gonna be another 80 podcasts on the ban list. So we may as well get our jerking hands ready.
By
so quarter one.
by proxy, Solemn Warning has gone up a few percent, so that's okay. Even though that's a bit weird.
Alright.
Remember when the platinum warning was $30, Blake?
Yes, I do.
Diamond Direwolf is crazy. Supers are like, I saw supers going in a minimum of $20 in certain places. Wow.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
I'll do it.
Yeah, I rate Direwolf a
Um,
lot. That's a good card.
Oh,
Ancient
baiting out
Stone
those
continues to
strikes.
rise. Haha, Loklin cries. There we go. We've done that.
Yeah, Loklin makes the joke before any of us can.
and
I'm so
Desires.
sad.
Desire's still sitting at 110-ish or 100-ish, depending on your
I'm not
When you
buying
buy
that
them
card.
for
It's under-
75 each.
unlimited. Lol.
Yeah, true.
Ooh.
No, I'm very happy with that.
He called
I'm
your
very,
cards
very
a
happy
limb.
with that.
That's essentially not even real cards. You might as well be playing fakes.
And Omega's still sitting at the top of the pedestal, even though it's not going to be really much in favor with meta decks going in the future. But my god, it's
Until DDDs.
In Nara,
Oh.
interesting enough, I'm not 100% if this will ever be a meta thing, but it was an interesting tech. One of the guys running ABC down there runs a Kawaki Mero engine in there, a small one. And he makes Omegas in it, and it kind of fucks shit up.
A what? Sorry.
A Kawaki Meru. So you know those
What
dudes, and they're like they
insane.
change position and they fucking you draw cards and shit. Like
Sure.
so they make the level 8 synchro, and then like it specials out
God
another
damn.
one, and then if they change yeah, it does shit.
Koei Chimera
I think,
Draco was a key card to side against dragons because it stops dragons' effects, but also and it only needs a dragon in the hand. So it was. Also,
But by merit of having that tuner in the deck, they could make Omega quite easy, and then Omega could do some cool stuff.
so cute.
There was a cock-a-doodle-doo variant of ABCs that also made Omega, which
Stop.
was cute.
Oh, yeah,
Stop.
God damn it.
Next subject. What's next? Do we
Lockman's
just
like,
take it
stop,
down?
No.
I hate cock, stop.
Yeah.
Stop, please.
No.
He's getting too excited.
I love shit
If
like
you
that.
have made it this far, thank you very much for tuning in. Check out our decks in 105 minutes. I did ABCs last week. It was kind of a fun one for me to do.
Is Bragg cutting us off because
Changing it up. I'm cutting it off because it was 70 minutes, man. And then also we'll try and do a deck tech this week. We haven't made up our mind. It's been a quiet couple of weeks. Thank you very much all for joining the podcast. Thank you very much, Blake. Thank you very much, Loklin. Thank you very much, Andrew. This has been Teamwork Cowboy for Game. Goodbye.
Dum 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 dum. Ugh!